as we go, Tommy Brady and the Bucs host Joe Burrow and the Red Hot Bengals on Sunday. The Bucs struggling on offense, but still sit atop the NFC South, even though they're 6-7 on the season. Brady and the Bucs are looking for their first victory against an AFC opponent. Year 3 of the Tampa Bay era has been quite different compared to the first 2 seasons. This season, the Bucs offense is scoring 13 points less per game than in the first 2 seasons, while gaining 67 less yards per game than 2021, all while Tom Brady currently has a career low QBR of 51. Marcus Spears, tell me this. How much of the blame does Brady deserve, Marcus, for the Bucs struggle?
Yeah, a lot more than people are giving him. I'm watching these games, Molly, and I'm not watching these games from an emotional standpoint. And we all were happy to see Tom Brady put together a final drive to win the game a couple weeks ago. But Tom Brady is off target. He's missing, and we're going to talk about the offensive line. We know that's bad and disastrous this year when you talk about giving up interior pressure, and that matters to quarterbacks. But some of the opportunities that Tom Brady has, he's the guy that's not delivering. I posted a clip on Twitter a couple days ago. Mike Evans wide open for a touchdown against last week, and Brady just missed it. Threw the ball behind him and down into the ground. We've seen misses. We've seen the obvious, the frustration. And 2, going back to the beginning of the season. And look, I thought that everybody acknowledges that Tom Brady is the greatest of all time based on his career and what he's done. But he's not above criticism because he's still playing football this year in 2022. And what we're watching Tom Brady do and struggle with at times and struggle to push the ball downfield, struggle with accuracy, are not things that we have ever grown accustomed to seeing him do. I think mentally, obviously, for obvious reasons, we know mentally he's been affected. Tom Brady retired after last season, unretired and came back. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers struggled. They lost players in free agency. They lost players to injury. All of those things are a culmination. Tom Brady left for 11 days during training camp. The effectiveness of his leadership, the things that we've talked about, and we talked about this before the season, about how much that may affect guys. Yeah, we know he's the ultimate leader. His teammates love him, but there's criticism to be given. Now, personal is personal, and you have to deal with what you have to deal with when it comes to certain things that go above and beyond football. But that doesn't mean that the criticism won't come when you're not playing well, when your team is not playing well, and when we're watching you be very uncharacteristic in the way that you play and throw the football downfield as the quarterback that we've seen have so much success, a tremendous amount of success. So there's a lot of blame to lie at the feet of Tom Brady, and it's not just about how he's played and the bad moments that he's had on the football field.
Well, Marcus, a couple things. Remember, Evans caught a touchdown pass on Sunday that was called back because of a hold. So, it was wide open. Brady got him the ball, and the offensive line.
Offensive lineman that replaced Wilf.
Their offensive line is horrendous.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is horrendous. Julio Jones never plays. Evans missed a few games. He dropped a touchdown pass against Carolina. They can't run the ball. Listen, you want to go kill Brady because he gets all the credit when they win? I got no problem with that. Kill him all you want. I understand. But to me, it's a perfect storm with Tampa. They've had a lot of things go wrong. I don't think the coach has necessarily distinguished himself either. Leftwich probably hasn't distinguished himself. Who can forget that game against Green Bay with the 2-point conversion scenario? Their defense isn't as good. They're just not as good a team. Now, again, Brady, is he as good as he's been in the last 2 years? No. You're 1,000% right. But, he gets some of the blame. He's got to get some of it. He's the quarterback. But I don't think to me, it's a perfect storm of events on his Tampa team. They're just not that good. At bottom line, they can't run the ball at all. Their defense, and the receivers never play. I'm going to give him a little break. I think he's going to play next year, and maybe not necessarily in Tampa. They did start the year 2-0, so although I agree with you, 11 days training camp in the summertime, wow, how do you leave? They did start the season with their first 2 wins, so it didn't affect them in Dallas. It didn't affect them in New Orleans to start the season. I'm going to give Brady a break. Is he as good as he was? Probably not. So his game has dropped a little bit, no question, but that team stinks. That is not a big team. So to me, there's blame to go all the way around. Myself.
It's not that it's not blame to go around, doggy. Neither one of you are wrong, though. It's not that it's not blame to go around, but the buck stops somewhere. The fact of the matter is, if you're Tom Brady and your team looks out of sync, discombobulated, ineffective, damn near impotent offensively, that's on him to some degree. The most of the load falls on his shoulders. Now, in New England, it's more of an issue with Belichick because we all know you run the shop. You don't want to listen to anybody. You're going to make the final call. You're a leader of men. This is what happens. You've got 8 Super Bowl championships on your resume. You ain't answering to no damn body. You ain't kissing anybody's ring. You want them to kiss yours. But in Tampa, they've kissed Tom Brady's ring and everything else that he has asked them to kiss. They cater to this brother. They acquiesce to this brother. They defer to him. That's why he was able to do things in Tampa he would have never dreamed of doing when he was in New England, because that is just the way that it was. It is not beyond the pale, and I don't want to step out of pocket here because I ain't trying to get in nobody's personal business or their relationships. But when he was going through, he was clearly going through personal issues. That had nothing to do with his teammates or anything like that. And we wish him and his family well. I'm here to tell you something right now. It's just a guess. But if he were in New England, Brady would have Belichick would have looked at him and been like, what that got to do with me? You got work to do. Now, I understand and appreciate what you're going through, but you can deal with that after practice. You ain't going to miss days. You ain't going to skip out on workouts or practice or anything like that. That ain't going to happen.
Stephen A.,
I don't think it's beyond the pale to say that would not have happened in New England. So, again, with stuff like that is why I lean towards Tom Brady, because you the man in Tampa, and that's on you.
Let me also remind you, Doggy, that he left and went to a wedding during a practice week.
But that was Robert Kraft's wedding.
As well.
That's Robert Kraft's
wedding. I don't care.
By the way,
what wedding it was.
Was Bill Belichick there?
Yes, he was.
Was he there? Did he show up to the wedding?
Yeah, he was. He was there.
Okay. All right. Must have been after practice.
I don't know if Bill Belichick was there, but here's what I'll say. That is something that we would have never associated Tom Brady with years ago, or maybe even last year. I don't know if Tom Brady would have showed up like that years ago. I don't know that. What I know about Tom Brady is I'm judging him. See, Mad Dog, what you're doing right now is you're looking at Tampa this year and the struggles that they are going through. I'm talking about the stature in which Tom Brady has built up in our eyes. I'm not comparing him to struggling teams or struggling quarterbacks or things that have transpired with other quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm judging him based on the standard that he has set. We have known Tom Brady. We talked a couple years ago about how abysmal the offense was in New England. He went 12-4, I believe, and they went to the playoffs. So it's not a judgment on him just this particular year. It's a judgment on the standard he set, Mad Dog.
Get it. He deserves. I understand that. It's Tom Brady, and he's got a higher level.
You think this is his last year?
I think he's going to play.
One more?
Not for Tampa. Somebody else.
Wow. Hot take of the day.
How about San Francisco?